Congratulations to us.
We're
wearing red together.
Coordinating. It is elephant in the room. Your last show before taking off on inexplicably this 6-week sabbatical to go be a father.
Sabbatical, yeah. It's pretty crazy. Baby due on Monday. Scheduled C-section. Last day of work Sunday. Cannot wait. We'll break it. His name will be Bennett. Bennett Pa.
6 weeks. That's unheard of. I'm
not going to make the whole 6 weeks, but I got to be back for Oregon. So.
You're gonna be bored. Yeah. Do you think? Or do you think you'll love it?
Bored?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
With a newborn? I hear they're pretty low key.
Newborn? Yeah. I mean you're still falling in love with your child, but at the same time, I will hopefully bring him to the driving range.
As a newborn?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
We already got the car seat for the golf cart.
And he knows golf etiquette. Be quiet on the range.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If you look at his room, it's all set up. It's got golf clubs. Everything's all golf.
Oh, he'll be fully integrated.
He's ready. Let's go.
It's going to be great. Welcome to the show. Man, another week. We are leading the show with our local guys from AC Boise just doing what they do. They're winning against USL championship teams.
3 for 3 against USL championship teams. In case you don't know, that's a league above them. They play in USL League One. But we decided to do a little mid-season report card for AC Boise. 5th in the standings, coming off 2 back-to-back wins. A tough loss against Knoxville, or one Knoxville SC. I can't get that team name right. I say the same thing every single week. Knoxville 1, one Knoxville SC. 7-6-3 on the year, 24 points. 7 points off the top of the USL League One standings. I think if you go back to October when Nate was signed as the head coach and you said, this team is 5th in the standings, 7 wins, 6 losses, 3 draws, 7 points off the top, 3 for 3 against USL championship teams, I think you'd take it.
I think he would. I asked him about it last week, and I do remember somewhat being surprised by his response to that. He said, that's great. I think a lot of teams would be happy to be here. First-year club. A lot of clubs struggle to get attendance. A lot of clubs struggle to win right off the bat. But we're eyeing first place. And that is kind of the mindset of these guys is that's great. That's kind of our expectation is to be able to win these games. And the fact that they aren't has kind of put them in this spot to stay hungry, which is good. You want to see that out of a first-year club, especially a club that has shown to be very potent on both sides of the ball, just not at the same time.
I think that's what you want in a head coach, to have that philosophy, to have that mindset of like, look, we're not okay with being mediocre. We want to be the best. Whether we're a first-team club or not, we want to be the best. You talked about the opportunities. So Nick Moon, I don't know if you know this, is top 10 in goals.
In the whole league?
In the USL.
Wow.
After his most recent fantastic goal that he scored last Saturday night, but against Sacramento. But the fact that Nick Moon is your leading goal scorer, I think that kind of says where you're at offensively as a football club. You're not getting enough production. You talked to Nate about it. He said we had to look it up. Number 9, number 10 spot, need more out of them.
Right. The 9 spot being the striker, which Nick Moon is not, which is kind of all that more surprising, or I guess all that more telling about his style of play. I mean, every time he touches the ball, something happens. But they do have to get that striker position going and going quick. It's not for a lack of chances, though. That's kind of the thing that we keep coming back to every single week is that these guys, they're putting shots on net. The chances are there. It's just burying them.
Conversion rate is a little bit low if you look at that as well. They've only converted on 15% of those opportunities. Now, that's not towards the bottom of the league. It's about the middle of the USL, but you would like to see that number up to at least 18 to 20%. And I think you can look at so many different parts and pieces of these games where they've had opportunities. I mean, you look at the last game against Sacramento. Yes, they scored 2 goals, but Dennis Kostashin had a free kick right outside the box. When you have a striker or you have one of your offensive gurus with a free kick right outside of the box, you expect not only maybe to make that opportunity, convert that goal, but the ball's got to be on net too. I mean, he missed the goal to the right. It was a little bit, it didn't make the keeper work. And I think in those situations, you got to put the ball on net and make that keeper make a save.
Yeah. Well, so seeing what we have seen this far. That was the most recent game was the official halfway point for the season. Where do you rank this team?
As far as like
Give him grade.
I think I'd give him a solid B.
B?
Yeah, I think a B is good. I think it's fair. I don't think it's too high, too low. If you take it from the standings of Nate, I don't think he'd be too upset when he listens to this and says, "Oh, Austin gave us a B, huh?" Okay, well, no, it's more so that you guys want to be towards the top of the standings. You want to be the best. You want to have home playoff games. That's the ultimate goal. They've built such a great defensive identity, and I think that's what keeps them in so many of these matches. Imagine if they can convert on just half of the opportunities that they've had. I feel like we're talking about one of the best teams in the USL.
Yeah, to me, I don't think that B is an unfair grade. You know what? Let me give him a B plus.
Okay,
that's my
just one
grading
of me.
system.
Yeah.
Well, it's only you factor in. You look at kind of halfway through the season, we're getting into triple digits for temperature. We're still selling out games. We're still seeing packed crowds. I mean, audience retention has been huge for these guys. They're exciting to watch. They're physical. The only thing missing that could really elevate this team to the next level would just be that consistency, because we see these highs and we see these lows, and we see kind of a different team every time they step out onto the pitch. You don't quite know where they're going to excel besides goaltending. That seems to be the one constant with Jonathan Cleaver back there in net. But some days it's the offense who's just incredibly potent. Sometimes it's defense who's just locked down. And when they can blend that together, which I think would be coming soon. And again, it's still a relatively new team, still new to playing to each other in comparison to many of the other teams in the league. I think you got a dynamite squad.
Yeah, dynamite squad for sure. I mean, when you factor in the entire thing, I was just factoring in just the play on the field for that B.
Oh, no fans?
No, this has nothing to do with what they've built as an entire organization and club. I think the entire thing has been an absolute success.
A minus with the purple jerseys.
Yeah, close to an A. When you think about what they've built, they are number one in attendance for the USL. Number one.
Yeah.
That is, and it's not even close. They are averaging over 7,200 patrons, is what you would call
patrons,
them. Guests.
Supporters.
I guess it's not the Masters. Probably shouldn't talk about patrons. But number one in attendance, average over 7,200 people per game. They've had 64,000 plus in their games thus far. 20,000 more than Portland, who comes to town on Friday, who's in second place in attendance.
I was just talking to Jake Kroll, the defender for AC Boise, and they said recently coming back from Westchester, he's played all over the league, and at Westchester they said they had about 50 fans in attendance. And it's just stunning to see how starkly different it is back here in Boise, what they've been able to build. It's unbelievable. And so that's kind of what makes this team special, and the opportunity for them to do something special. It's right there, and they'll have 7,000 people in their corner helping them out.
Speaking of Kroll, by the way, number one in passes in the league. I don't know if you knew that.
Really? I didn't know that.
Over 1,000 completed passes. They are second in passing accuracy, top three as a team in passes as well. They pass the ball well. The opportunities come from the passes, and they're there. They just got to convert on those opportunities. Speaking of the River Guard, we just got to get – the River Guard has been phenomenal. They are sensational. So every single match, they bring the energy 24/7. The entire time they're standing up. We just got to get the River Guard and the giant other box of fans on the same page, because it seems like the chants are there, but they just don't really know when to kind of be on the same page with each other and not just.
I think there's a sound delay. I think it takes time for the sound to travel, so nothing's ever going to be on beat the way that they want it to. I've noticed that filming, so I don't know how you would fix that. Maybe just another grandstand by the other goal might help with that. I don't know.
Well, something interesting that happened in the Sacramento game. So now the big version of the crowd under the awning or the hood, they have their own chants now. They were starting their own chants opposite of the River Guard.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, they created their own thing. I was like, what is happening here? And the River Guard was just kind of looking like, what? I don't know what we're doing.
They're like, we didn't study the tape. We didn't practice that in rehearsal.
AC Boise's awesome, though. I am so pumped for the rest of this season. It's been a great run so far.
It's going to be fun. Coming up, talking Boise State football, expectations, way too early predictions. And for Idaho State.
Don't forget the Bengals.
The media, a lot of questions about Pac-12. Most of those probably won't be answered unless you reach out directly to each university. The Pac-12 canceling or just not scheduling a media day, which is bizarre.
It's bizarre for this very reason. This is the first year of a brand new conference. You're having conference realignment. First year of all these teams coming into your rebirthed Pac-12 is what you're essentially trying to make. You're trying to bring back the Pac-12. You're not going to want national media attention. You're not going to want to bring that attention to your conference and continue to grow that brand to be something bigger than it is, to try to be one of those Power 5 conferences. Why?
I think the report that I saw was they did not want to shell out the money to get a bunch of hotels or a hotel and a bunch of rooms in, let's say, Las Vegas, like they had for the Mountain West Conference, for 72 hours of buzz was, I think, the quote that I saw, which, like, I can understand, you know what, yeah, trying to be fiscally responsible, and
there's that word again.
There it is. It's boring. But I can understand that perspective, but I think a lot of fans have questions as like, who are these teams? Who's Texas State? Like, I want to know more. Like, what are you bringing to this conference? What are you excited about? Who are your players? You know, like, there's so many interesting storylines heading into this conference that was revived this year. We can't have a press conference?
Kirby Moore is the head coach of Washington State. You don't think that's going to
SEC offensive coordinator?
You don't think that's going to garner some attention
Yeah.
for your media days? I mean, what are we even thinking about here? I understand if maybe you had it the first year, rebirthing of your conference, and then down the road you're like, you know what, this cost us a lot of money. We can use this money to allocate elsewhere to make the conference better. And maybe you don't host media days in the future, but the first year of a brand new conference, I feel like this is a must-have.
And didn't they get millions in payouts from the teams who left the conference initially? I mean, just swipe the card. 1 year. 1 year. That's just, I mean, I'm not an accountant, but I just feel like they could have made it work. Boise State trying to do their own Pac-12 Media Day, which is exciting. We'll get to know a little bit more about them and what they're bringing to the table outside of our, I guess, kind of what we already know heading into this season.
I think BSU was like, look, if you don't want to give us the stage, we'll build our own.
That's fine.
We'll do it ourselves. They're going to host their own media days next week, which is super exciting for us, but also great for you in effect of provides you content for the next month or so.
We are in a lull. It is tough right now.
Welcome to summer, but let's get into it. Let's go. We're going way too early. Schedule predictions. Of course, we got to start with the colors of our logo, Boise State.
Ooh.
You want to go first? I'll go first.
What are we doing, record?
We're doing record. We're going through each game. Schedule's up right now.
This is it. I think Oregon, oh man, I think that's going to be really tough to beat that team on the road for the season opener. That being said, I think that would be their best opportunity. It's when teams are still fine-tuning things, and maybe they could exploit a weakness Oregon hasn't cracked yet, but give me an 11-1 season. I feel like the rest of these games are very manageable if they can take care of business and stay healthy. That's the biggest component, and I think they have the depth on offense to do it. I don't know about defense.
I thought we were going to go through every game.
Oh, every single game?
Yeah.
What are we doing, score predictions?
No, just like, Oregon lost, why, blah, 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 real quick.
Oregon,
you don't have to.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. I think Oregon lost for the reasons I mentioned. It's a top 5 team, and it's on the road, and I don't think that Boise State's offense is going to be able to put up enough points and penetrate that defense to the degree it needs to. Memphis,
What version of Maddox Madsen are we going to get in that game? That's the biggest question.
Yeah, I mean, if we get Mountain West Championship, UNLV, I feel like I like our chances a lot. And plus, Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines, I think it'll be close. I would give it maybe a 31-17 final score.
That would be respectable.
Yeah.
100%.
Memphis, I think they can take care of business. I think Memphis is kind of on the decline. They used to be a really good group of 6 squad, and now I kind of feel like they might be able to rebuild something, but it's a home game. Boise State lost the first matchup a few years back. I think this will be a nice retribution. South Dakota win. Western Michigan, I think, again, it's a group of 6 team that has occasionally good years on the road, yes, but I think it's going to be a win. Fresno State, oh, gosh, I keep going one ahead. Utah State, yeah, I don't think they'll have a problem with that.
At home, yeah.
Yeah, I really think the only real game that they're going to struggle with potentially comes against Washington State on the road. I think Pullman gets a little weird, especially after dark.
100%, yeah.
And it does get dark at 4 o'clock in Pullman. It's just a weird spot.
You done? You
Sure,
finished?
yeah.
Okay. So the rest are just wins.
Yeah, I think so.
Win.
I think they win the Pac-12.
I do too. I do agree. I mean, Oregon inside of Autzen Stadium,
Without Genty this time.
No way I'm giving them a win. No offense to the program, but it is a chance, again, another national opportunity to put your put your name out there, possibly make a statement. Can you imagine if they won that game?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, now we're already talking about college football playoff and this and that and blah, blah, blah.
But that's the thing. They don't have to win this game.
No, they don't.
Just have to play well.
Right.
Convincing.
Let's not lose 55-7.
That cannot happen.
That can't happen.
That's the end of the season.
Cannot happen. Memphis at home, that's going to be a phenomenal game. It's a home opener against a really solid or formerly solid football team. I do think they get a win there. South Dakota, easy win. Western Michigan on the road, I don't necessarily know enough about them, but I do feel like that's a pretty respectable win. Utah State was a tough game last year in the rain, but that was on the road, one of the more hostile environments. That game's at home this year. All their tough games, except for Fresno State, in my opinion, is the toughest road game for them.
Yeah.
Fresno State is going to be really weird. And if they're, call it 6-1 going into Fresno State or 5-1, whatever that math is. Didn't major in math, but It could be very interesting, right? I mean, that's where you really need to get that tough, gritty, kind of grinded out win. I think they make a statement at Washington State.
You think so?
I think so. I think Kirby Moore, all respect to Kirby Moore, he's going to turn that program around. It's going to look really good. But in year one, I just don't think you have enough pieces to turn that around quickly enough to kind of beat a BSU team. Texas State win, Colorado State, gritty W on the road is what I wrote here. Oregon State has not been good in the last couple of years. Dominant dub is what I wrote there.
Dominant.
And then SDSU, same thing. Tough game last year on the road. It was in San Diego. In the rain, you were there. It was like a hurricane.
It was wonderful.
Also didn't have their starting quarterback. They get that game at home. They win 10-1, barring the flex game. Possibly 11-1 for BSU.
I think it's a good-looking season. I think if there is a possibility to try to crack the college football playoffs, this schedule does give them an excellent opportunity, and they have the pieces. They just have to execute.
It'll be the question. The questions will be on defense for sure, and then what is this offense going to look like at the wide receiver position? I think that's probably the biggest question mark for
Rashawn Jones, Pac-12 freshman of the year.
You just don't know how they're going to use him yet. We'll find out more about Boise State, talk more about them coming up media days. But let's switch over to your alma mater, the Idaho Vandals.
V's up.
V's up.
We're number 2.
Yeah, I guess
how
we're
about
saying that. Cal Poly, what do you got?
I think
on ESPN. Opening week.
That's going to be a big game, but I feel like the Vandals.
It's in the Dome.
I feel like the Vandals are returning enough offensive weapons. I mean, they've got Josh Wood coming back, that dual threat QB. He was inconsistent, but I think he's had time to work with the offense, build a little bit more chemistry in the offseason. You also still have Elijah Cummings and Nate Thomas in the backfield at running back. It's going to be a dynamic running offense. And then if they can hit Ryan Jeziara at wide receiver, I like the offense. The defense is the biggest question mark for me. That'll be a good early test, but I like their chances.
Okay. What about Utah?
Yeah, probably not.
Just quickly, no.
I think it's going to be. I think they can take the paycheck. Again, they've been competitive. They were, competitive against Washington State the past couple of years. At Oregon, they were very good with Jason X. So again, it's just what defense are we going to get? And again, I don't expect to win, but the Vandals have stunned people in the past with how competitive they've been with some of these bigger programs.
Hey, yeah, stick your chest out for the Vandals. Yeah. You got to pump them up. All right, Lamar, I got a W there.
I got a W as well.
Okay, Ab Christian.
Yeah, they've won. They're 2-0 in the last 2 meetings with those guys, so I like their chances again.
This is the game that I was curious what you're going to say. Montana State in the Dome.
Defending national champs. I think
returning pretty much everybody.
I think the hype is going to be there for that game. It's going to be a sellout crowd. I think it's going to be close. The last time they played there, it came down to a missed field goal as time expired. Give me the Vandals. Give me the Vandals. I've got to.
I got a loss there. Close loss, I said. Close loss.
Yeah.
Weber State win. That's an easy one. Montana's interesting. They've kind of been underperforming the last couple of years. I think they do take home the Brown Stein again at Montana.
Great to see it back, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Southern Utah got a win there. Portland State win. Eastern Washington win. UC Davis win. Idaho State, dominant win.
You think dominant?
Yeah.
I think Idaho State might beat them.
You think so?
I think Idaho State also returned a lot of offensive prowess. And
they did.
Let's transition to those guys because Idaho State, they are sneaky good heading into this season. Cody Hawkins coming back as head coach.
Everybody hated last year when I was in the Big Sky for Montana. I put Idaho State finishing 3rd in the conference, and everybody thought I was crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Third. Well, and they what they
finished
did.
fourth.
They stunned UNLV almost. I mean, they took them right down to the wire with Dan Mullins.
Yep. I mean, don't forget the record amount of points they put up that one game.
That was
90
against effectively a high school.
I know, but still, you still got to put up the points.
Sure.
VMI at home. We're going to open up with a dub. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%.
Utah State, game 2.
I think they can. I think they're capable of beating Utah State. Again, let's see what they can produce. Their offense, Jordan Cook set multiple records last year. Shadon James is a preseason All-American. He led the FCS in receptions. This offense is going to be tough to stop. I think they could do it.
3 preseason All-Americans for Idaho State. Pretty impressive. San Diego.
Win.
I got to win there, too. Southern Utah. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Southern Utah, I mean, they've never really sustainably been a powerhouse in the Big Sky, at least in football.
Yes, they are not in the Big Sky.
Oh, my gosh. Total brain
It's
fart.
okay. It's my bad.
I forgot they graduated from that.
Yes. They're...
Wow.
Yeah, I got Idaho State losing that game. But I do... The following couple weeks are very interesting. NAU, that's always an interesting one, but they do get it at home. NAU's tough to play on the road. That is a crazy environment.
It's a modern dome.
Kibbe Dome is pretty crazy. NAU is pretty wild as well. I got a dub there. Cal Poly, win. It's going to be a tough game for them. Then they go at Weber. I got to win there. Then they go Portland State. I got to win there. They got at Utah Tech, which is like their football team's not good at all. But then to close out the regular season, they go defending champs at Montana and then at home. For Idaho, I got 3 L's.
3 L's
in a row.
I think it's 1 and 2. I think that they can do it. I hate to say it. Battle of the Domes.
The only reason why I said a loss at Montana is because it's one of the hardest places to play in the Big Sky Conference. Montana State's the defending champ. Got to give them some respect. But they are at home for the Vandals. I can't wait for that game to finish out the regular season.
That'll be fun.
Let's go.
Expectations are high. We always expect to do well. We got a very talented team, so we expect, we always expect us, to succeed and be successful.
I expect us to be great. We have a lot of great talent on the team. Expect us to win the state championship.
Same thing as last year, state title.
Bishop Kelly's expectations are high, looking for our program's 10th state championship game, looking to go back-to-back for the first time in a decade. 3rd state title in 4 years. That's what they're chasing this year. Can anybody stop these guys in the 5A?
Absolutely not. I mean, yes.
So?
I mean, granted, yeah, of course, people can stop them. But, I mean, there's a reason why they've been so dominant and such a dominant program. You just said it. 10 titles. That's
Count
a lot.
them. 10.
That's a lot of titles. But
I was at camp today. And so, Ben Avila, their quarterback from last year, he's gone, and they're transitioning to a wide receiver to play quarterback. His dad played at Colorado. His uncle played at Colorado. His dad played at Bishop Kelly back in the day as a QB. Everybody was making plays today. I mean, there was very few dropped balls. There was very few missed assignments. These guys returned most of their offensive starters from last year. I mean, good luck to anybody. Centennial. Who's now in the 5A. Which is not a dig. Good luck. I mean, to anybody trying to play these guys. These guys are rock solid.
Well, I think that answers your own question when you said, can anybody stop these guys? And the reason why it's yes is because they're losing the most important position, which is quarterback. And it's hard at the high school level to insert somebody in who hasn't necessarily played quarterback. They're playing wide receiver. Granted, they have the skills to play the position as far as taking off and running, but do they have the skills to be able to read defenses? That's the biggest thing with a wide receiver switching to quarterback.
I asked him about it. His name's Jackson. He's a great kid, and I was asking him about that transition, and he said playing receiver actually helped him learn how to read defenses, and it helps him at quarterback because you now understand the spacing that wide receivers have, and you can kind of understand defensive backs' coverages and their stances and what might work, and you can kind of see things from a QB's perspective, or I guess a wide receiver's perspective at quarterback, which I thought was kind of interesting, and it made sense, at least based on the throws he was making. I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Absolutely.
So you're convinced?
I'm pretty sold.
This is him right here?
Yeah, that's him.
I mean, he looks the part.
He looks the part. Great release. I mean, look at that ball.
How's the spiral?
Spiral's
Tight spiral?
Yeah, it's not like mine, which is a duck. This guy is pretty good. And the receivers getting open. Timberline, they were going up head-to-head against them in camp. And Timberline, they lost their receiver, Hudson Lewis. They still look pretty sharp. But
Oregon, by the way.
Yeah, no big deal. I think Timberline's going to be strong this year, too. Hard to say this far out. But Bishop Kelly, they look good.
You might be asking why we're talking about high school football. Look, we are couple weeks away from camp opening up, 2-a-days happening. Football season is right around the corner.
It's about 4 weeks out.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a break at some point, and we never got a break.
Still waiting on that.
I think the break is not happening.
Well, you get a 6-week break. What's the best thing you saw heading into your break? What's the best thing you saw?
Best thing I saw this week, I'm going to say the fans buying and showing out with the purple jerseys for AC Boise, and just how jazzed they were to play against Sacramento, and just how fired up they were. The fans were incredible. They continue to support this club, whether it's 102 degrees and they got to do hydration breaks, or whether it's 65 degrees. So
I love it.
What about you?
Those purple jerseys are tough to beat. Best thing I saw, Boise Twilight Criterium. Kristen Armstrong racing against some 5, 6, 7-year-olds around the track. It was actually really cool to see, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it.
I'll see you guys in 5 weeks. 5 weeks?
It'll fly.